Hey Skol Nation, what's up, my fellow purple-blooded warriors? Can you feel that chill in the air? It's not just November frost. It's the heat of Vikings frustration building after these first 7 games of the 2025 season. I'm your die-hard Vikings fan, fired up and ready to dive into the latest from Vikings news. Because if there's one thing we love, it's dissecting the drama that's got our hearts pounding. Today, we're talking that infamous 2022 draft class, the one that's still haunting Kwesi Adofo-Mensah like a bad dream, and zooming in on a former third-round pick who's become the ultimate journeyman. Buckle up, because the story of highs, lows, and league hopping is going to make you yell Skol, or maybe just sigh in solidarity. Who's ready to unpack why Brian Asamoah's path is a mirror to our team's unfinished business? Picture this: 7 games in, and our Vikings are scraping by, not quite finding that explosive rhythm we crave. The offense flickers like a faulty U.S. Bank Stadium light show, and the defense has got potential, but man, the questions are flying faster than a Justin Jefferson deep ball. Fans in the chat, hit me with your take. What's the biggest red flag right now? Is it the play calling, the injuries, or something deeper in the front office? From Vikings news updates, we're seeing whispers of doubt aimed straight at GM Kwesi Adofo-Mensah. And yeah, his draft history keeps bubbling up like that post-game Gatorade dump we haven't earned yet. That 2022 class? Oof, it's the gift that keeps on giving headaches. But stick with me, because one name from that draft is bouncing around the league like a pinball, and it might just remind us why we fight for this team every Sunday. Let's crank up the energy here, Skol Nation. Before we hit the main event, a quick teaser that's gonna hook you. What if I told you a guy we drafted to be our future linebacker star is now on his 4th team in 3 months, one injury call-up away from maybe haunting us on the field? That's the roller coaster of Brian Asamoah, and as we break it down scene by scene, I'll weave in the stats, the what-ifs, and that raw fan passion we all share. Drop a comment. Would you take Asamoah back if he lit it up elsewhere? Alright, let's charge into this Skol. The 2022 NFL Draft Night buzz in Minnesota was electric, wasn't it? We were coming off that wild 13-win season, Kevin O'Connell fresh on the scene, and Kwesi Adofo-Mensah wheeling and dealing like he owned the war room. With the 66th overall pick in the 3rd round, traded up from the Lions no less, they snagged Brian Asamoah 2 out of Oklahoma, this speedy, versatile linebacker who looked like the perfect fit for Ed Donatell's scheme. At 6'1", 230 pounds, he was that undersized heat-seeker, blitzing like a demon and covering tight ends in his sleep. Vikings news had headlines screaming future star, and fans like us were sketching purple jerseys with his name already. Man, it felt like the start of something big, our answer to the aging Eric Kendricks and Jordan Hicks, ready to inject youth and fire into the core. But rewind to those draft war room vibes. Kwesi's grinning ear-to-ear, high-fiving scouts, hyping Asamoah's college tape where he racked up 61 tackles, 3.5 sacks, and 2 picks as a junior Sooner. The narrative was crystal: speed to replace the vets, a guy who could thrive in sub-packages and grow into a starter. We traded assets to grab him, pouring faith into this 2022 class that promised to rebuild the trenches and the back 7. Skol Nation ate it up. Forums lit up with "Asamoah's gonna be a steal" threads. Yet, as the confetti settled, little did we know this pick would become the poster child for the draft's unraveling. A class that's now down to just Ty Chandler and Jalen Nailor holding the fort. What a tease of potential, right? Makes you wonder, did we scout the flash over the foundation? Fast forward just a bit, and that rookie minicamp hype train was roaring. Asamoah hit the field at TCO Performance Center, jersey number 33 flashing under the lights, and early reps had coaches nodding like, this kid's got it. Preseason flashes? A sack on Dorian Thompson-Robinson in Cleveland that had us popping beers early. Vikings news clips went viral, with 17 tackles projected from his college form. But even then, cracks showed. Limited snaps behind the vets, whispers of needing to bulk up for the NFC North grind. Fans, pause here. Remember that electric draft night promise? If Asamoah had panned out, our linebacker room looks stacked today. Who's your unsung hero from that class? Chandler for the runs or Nailor for the grabs? Let's keep the momentum. Next up, his rookie roller coaster. Rookie year 2022. Pure adrenaline for Asamoah. stepping into a Vikings locker room buzzing with Kirk Cousins' magic and that 13-4 dream. He logs 17 tackles, mostly in those late-season bursts when coaches finally unleashed him. But it's the special teams grind where he shines. Nearly 800 snaps chasing kicks like his life depended on it. Ed Donatel, our DC wizard at the time, had big plans. "Brian's the heir apparent," he'd say, eyeing him to spell Kendricks in pass rush. And oh man, that Christmas Eve thriller against the Giants? Asamoah forces a fumble on Daniel Bellinger, scoops it clean, and sets up Greg Joseph's franchise record 61-yard boot to steal the win. Pure holiday magic at US Bank. Vikings News replayed it endlessly. We were chanting his name like he was Dalvin Cook breaking free. Dive deeper into those stats, Skol Nation. Across 17 games, Asamoah's 30 tackles total modest, but with a PFF grade hovering at 68.4 on defense, showing coverage chops that screamed upside. He switched jerseys twice that year, from 33 to 2, like he was shedding skins for a bigger role. Coaches hyped more reps in the finale, promising he'd feast on those final weeks. We believed it. After all, this was our third-round gem, drafted to evolve into a three-down menace. But as the confetti fell on that playoff push, you could sense the pivot coming. Injuries nipped at the edges, and the vets held court. What if Donatel had force-fed him starts earlier? Would we be talking All-Pro today? Hit the comments. That fumble-forcing play, top 5 Vikings moment of 22 for you? Yet, as the 2022 season wrapped with that bitter wild-card exit, Asamoah's flashes felt like fireworks fizzling too soon. Nearly 200 defensive snaps, but mostly mop-up duty, and special teams ate 80% of his time. Valuable, sure, but not the starter blueprint we inked him for. Vikings news polls had fans split. 55% said, "Patience, he's raw," while the rest grumbled about the draft's early misses. Looking back, it was the calm before the scheme storm. Donatel got the axe, and in waltzed Brian Flores with his aggressive, hybrid fronts. Asamoah, demoted to coverage wing in the new era, vets like Camu Grugier-Hill snagging those rotational spots. Skol Nation, that transition sting. Anyone else feel it like a blindside hit? Hang tight. The plot thickens with Flores flipping the script. Enter 2023. Brian Flores storms in as DC, and suddenly our linebacker room's a pressure cooker of blitzes and disguises. Asamoah, now rocking number 6, gets shuffled to the back. Flores loves his undrafted gems like Ivan Pace Jr., who explodes onto the scene with 109 tackles as a rookie. Asamoah, he's logging just 20 defensive snaps all year, buried behind Pace, Josh Metellus in hybrid roles, and free agent pickups like Jordan Hicks Redux. Special teams remain his lifeline, over 300 snaps covering punts and PATs, but the promise of that draft night speed? It's idling on the depth chart. Vikings news breakdowns called it wasted potential, with PFF noting his 55.2 run defense grade as a red flag in Flores' gap shooting scheme. Think about the what-ifs here, fans. Flores traded Donatel's zone-heavy looks for man-press chaos, and Asamoah's safety-like build just didn't mesh. Too light at 228 pounds for the trenches against Detroit's beasts. We signed vets to bridge the gap, but it left our third-rounder twiddling thumbs, switching numbers again like a man searching for identity. Stats-wise, he adds a measly 5 tackles to his tally, total career now at 25, with flashes in preseason but nada in the regular grind. Skol Nation, does this scream bad fit or rush development? I lean bad fit. Flores built a wall and Asamoah got caught in the rubble. Your thoughts in the comments. Let's debate while we roll into the 2024 fade. By 2024, the writing's on the wall or the depth chart. Anyway, Asamoah's in year 3 of his rookie deal, a cool $1.2 million base, but rookies Austin Keel and that surprise Kobe King are nipping at his heels in camp. He scrapes 10 defensive snaps, mostly garbage time, and for 100+ on special teams, but Flores is all in on Pace and the vets. No room for projects. Vikings news reports from TCSP had insiders whispering trade bait or bust. Yet no bites come. His PFF overall dips to 62.3, with coverage wins but run support that's still a work in progress. We cut ties with other 2022 flops like Louis Cine and Andrew Booth ages ago. leaving Asamoah as the last gasp of that class's defense hopes until he isn't. Zoom out on the journey. From 17 rookie tackles to sporadic cameos, Asamoah's played 46 games total, all purple, for 30 stops in nearly 1,000 snaps. 80% special teams hustle. That Giants fumble? Still his crown jewel, a 102-yard drive killer. But as the season ticks toward playoffs, he's waived in August. Titans snag him quick, only to spit him out weeks later after zero noise in their preseason. Skol Nation, it's heartbreaking. This kid had Sooner swag, but our schemes chewed him up. Was it coaching carousel curse or just not our guy? Drop your hot take. I'm reading everyone as we hit the Journeyman era. August 2025 hits like a thunderclap. Vikings waive Asamoah on the 12th, per official team news, shocking no one but stinging all the same. Rookies Keel and King vault past him. King ironically waived himself last week, and suddenly our 66th pick is free agent fodder. Titans claim him again, but poof, waived after 2 weeks of silence. He bounces to the Raiders practice squad for the season's first half, grinding in silver and black without a sniff of game day. Nearly 26 now, turning that milestone next offseason, and his phone's blowing up with tryout vibes. Vikings news timeline. From Purple Promise to League Nomad in 1,095 days. Fans, that waiver wire drop felt like losing a draft bro, right? The numbers don't lie. Post-Vikings, 0 NFL snaps, but his tape shows that burst, 4.5 240 speed still elite for a backer. Bengals weak D linebackers? Perfect storm for a call-up. They're 4-3, banged up, and Asamoah's special teams ace could slot right in. From Oklahoma Phenom to fourth-team traveler in 3 months, Titans, Raiders, now Bengals practice squad. Skol Nation, it's the NFL grind we fear for our guys. What if injury hits Cincy? He call-ups and sacks Joe Burrow. Irony alert. Your prediction. Stick somewhere, or back to USFL dreams? Let's unpack this bounce. October 2025. Asamoah is released by the Raiders after grinding their practice squad through Week 7. No elevations, just film room reps. Vikings news flashes the alert. Former third-rounder hits waivers again. Hours later, Bengals pounce, signing him to their practice squad amid a linebacker shuffle. Sam Hubbard's nagging hammy, Logan Wilson's load management. It's his 4th stop since August. Vikings? Waived. Titans? Claimed/waived. Raiders? Practice. Now who day? At 25, with that untapped speed, he's one tweak away from 53-man glory. Imagine the call. Brian, suit up against the Steelers. Heart attack for us neutrals. Stats from the bubble. In Raiders' closed-door scrimmages, insiders leak he notched 3 sacks in 50 snaps, per PFF mocks. Bengals D ranks 27th in points allowed. Linebackers gassed at 28 attempts per game. Asamoah's fit? Depth, but his 68.1 special teams grade screams value. Skol Nation, this journeyman's tale. Rooting for him quietly, or nah? He's ours at heart. Comments. Where do you see him Week 8? Teasing the impact next. One injury in Cincy and boom, Asamoah's elevated, maybe facing old NFC North foes. Bengals announced the signing this week. Vikings news cross. Posts with a full circle. Spin. His path. Waived by us August 12th. Titans claim August 15th. Waived September 1st. Raiders PS September 5th through October 28th. Bengals PS October 30th. 4 teams, 85 days. Textbook bubble life. But that forced fumble DNA? It's lurking. Bengals need run stuffers with their 4.8 yards per carry allowed. At 25, prime age, he's got 46 games of purple grit to sell. Narratively, it's redemption arc bait. From Donatel's successor dream to Flores castoff. Now Bengals wild card. PFF projects a 65.4 grade if called up, solid rotational. Fans, this journeyman hustle. Inspires or depresses? I'm inspired. NFL's brutal, but our boys battling. Share your story. Ever root for an ex-Viking? As we wrap his Viking tenure, the ghosts linger. Back to purple roots. Asamoah's 46 games, 30 tackles, 1 forced fumble, 1 recovery, humble ledger. But those special teams reps, 802 snaps, were gold. Career snaps, 191 defensive, where his 4.1% missed tackle rate shown in coverage. Vikings news archives, flashes of brilliance, but no sustained role. From 2022's 17-tackle rookie splash to 2024's bench warmer, he embodied the draft's bust label, only Chandler and Naylor left standing. Skol Nation, that 2022 sting, Kwesi's first swing, and it whiffed hard. The scheme shift killed him. Donatel's zone fits his range. Floris Manblitz exposed the size. Acquired vets like Grugier Hill, 2023, and Hicks, 2024, blocked his path, demoting him to gunner duty. Pre-2025 camp, Keel and King's rise sealed it, waved before pads cracked fully. Stats whisper potential. 73.2 coverage grade career high in 22. But impact, minimal, no INTs, half-sack total. What could have been, right? Your fave Asamoah memory, that giant strip? Tying it to now, Asamoah's exit spotlights Kwesi's draft woes. 2022's 10 picks yielded 2 roster guys. Cine Booth, Ingram gone early. Fanbase murmurs grow post 7 games. We're 3-4. Per latest Vikings news, offense at 19.2 ppg, league 22nd. Leadership questions. Valid, Kwesi's trades dazzle, but drafts lag. Asamoah's journeyman arc. Exhibit A. Skol Nation, time to rally. Blame game or build on it. Comments firing. Let's turn frustration to fire. Zoom on the fan pulse. After 7 games, Skol Nation's venting. Twitter, X, ablaze with fire. Kwesi? Polls hitting 60% yes. That 2022 class? A disaster per PFF rankings. Dead last in value. Asamoah's saga fuels it. Drafted for speed, 4.5240. But we needed bulk. Now, with J.J. McCarthy's development our QB lifeline, 1 busted class fades. If he clicks, who cares about Asamoah's 30 tackles? But 7-game slump? It resurfaces. Fans, you feeling the heat? What's your fix? Draft overhaul. Yet, hope flickers. McCarthy's arm talent, 85.3 passer rating in spots, echoes franchise dreams. Vikings news teases his growth versus Asamoah's fade, poetic. Kwesi's post-draft moves like Jefferson extensions buy time. But journeyman tales like this, they sting, reminding us depth's fragile. Skol Nation, we're in this. 7 games down, 9 to glory. Your bold prediction. Playoff push or rebuild? Asamoah's bounce to Bengals? Their D's porous, 31st in rush DVOA. Linebackers allowing 5.2 YPC. He's practice squad insurance, but 1 Wilson tweak, and he's in maybe versus us week 12? Irony overload. His skill set, elite pursuit, 1.8 yards per carry forced negative in college. Vikings news scout notes, still raw, but hungry. At 26 soon, contract clock ticks. Prove it year on a vet minimum deal. Picture the call-up. Asamoah in stripes, sacking Sam Darnold. Wait. Us. Fans split. We've moved on. Pace's 120 tackle pace owns the room. But rooting low-key? Absolutely. Stats potential. If elevated 100 snaps, projects 15 to 20 tackles. Bengals need it. They're 3-4-2. Skol Nation. Ex-Vikings thriving elsewhere. Cheer or shade? I'm cheering. League's family. Final twist. Asamoah's not done. 4th team, but youth's on his side. From Purple Prince to Bengal backup, it's NFL poetry. Vikings news update. Signed October 30th. Eligible week 9. 1 snap away from relevance. Fans, this saga teaches patience? Hit comments. Call him up soon? Skol Nation, we've unpacked Asamoah's wild ride. From draft dazzle to journeyman jabs, and tied it to our 7-game growl. That 2022 ghost? It's real, but McCarthy's magic could exorcise it. What's got you hyped for week 8? The D's bend but don't break? Or JJ's YAC feasts? Drop your thoughts below. I read 'em all, promise. But hey, don't stop there. Smash that like if you're fired up for more Vikings news deep dives. subscribe for daily Skol fixes, and share this with your tailgate crew. Who's your pick to break out next? Comment now. Let's build the hype. Skol Vikings on to Detroit, wrapping this epic. Asamoah's 30 tackles in purple? Modest, but that fumble hustle lives. Bengals watch. Injury roulette could spin gold. For us, it's fuel, Quasi, redeem that draft ledger. Skol Nation eternal.